Christmas morning, 1996. A family in Boulder, Colorado, should have been opening gifts and sharing laughter. Instead, their home became the center of one of America's darkest mysteries. A ransom note, a frantic search, and the shocking discovery of 6-year-old beauty Queen JonBenét Ramsey, found dead in her own basement. What really happened that night? Was it an intruder who slipped away unseen? Or did the answers lie within the Ramsey home itself? For more than 2 decades, this case has divided investigators, haunted the public, and left one haunting truth. The mystery is still unresolved. But before we dive, what do you think? Intruder or insider? Drop your thoughts below. On December 26, 1996, Patsy Ramsey awoke early and walked downstairs. There on the staircase, she found a 2.5-page ransom note demanding $118,000, almost the exact amount of John Ramsey's recent work bonus. Police were called. Neighbors and friends rushed to the house. But amid the chaos, JonBenét was missing. Hours later, her father John descended into the basement. Behind a locked door, he found her body. She had been strangled, her skull fractured, duct tape still across her mouth. What should have been a holiday of joy had turned into a crime scene filled with questions that remain to this day. From the beginning, suspicion circled the family. The ransom note looked strange, unusually long, filled with odd details, and written on paper from inside the house. Many said it looked staged. The Ramseys' behavior also drew scrutiny. Some found their responses too controlled, too polished. But was that grief playing out differently? Or guilt try to stay hidden? And then came whispers. Could JonBenét's 9-year-old brother Burke have been involved in an accident, with the parents covering it up? What do you think? Do families ever hide the truth to protect their own? The investigation quickly ran into problems. The crime scene was contaminated. Too many people had entered the house before police could lock it down. Still, there were clues. A broken basement window suggesting possible entry. An unidentified boot print near the body. DNA under JonBenét's fingernails and on her clothing, but never matched to anyone in the family. But nothing was straightforward. The broken window? John admitted he had broken it weeks earlier. The DNA? Could it have been contamination from clothing manufacturing? The ransom note? Written carefully, but strangely theatrical. The evidence seemed to both accuse and defend the family at the same time. Once the story broke, it became a national obsession. JonBenét's pageant photos, tiaras, gowns, big smiles, were plastered across headlines. Some accused her parents of pushing her too far into the spotlight. Others saw the case as proof of how fragile innocence can be. The Ramseys were painted as suspicious in the media, their every move dissected. But with each headline, the truth slipped further away. America split into 2 camps. Those who believed in the intruder theory, and those who were convinced the answer lay within the Ramsey home. Supporters point to the broken window, the boot print, and the unidentified DNA. Maybe a kidnapper panicked when things went wrong. Maybe JonBenét's pageant fame made her a target. But critics argued there was no real sign of forced entry, and the ransom note felt too personal to be from a stranger. Others believe someone in the household was responsible. Some suggest Burke struck his sister by accident, with the parents covering it up. Others think the elaborate ransom note was a staged distraction. The note's demand for $118,000, the exact amount of John's bonus, seemed far too coincidental. Yet despite years of suspicion, no Ramsey family member was ever charged. And the DNA evidence, though debated, continues to cast doubt on their involvement. Backhand index pointing right if you had to decide today, intruder or insider. Which theory would you choose? The years that followed were filled with tension. Patsy Ramsey fought to clear her family's name, but passed away in 2006 without resolution. John Ramsey largely stepped away from a spotlight. In 2008, prosecutors formally cleared the Ramseys of involvement, citing DNA evidence that suggested an unknown male intruder. Yet critics argue the evidence was too weak to be conclusive. Today, Boulder police say the case is still open. Advances in DNA testing bring hope that one day, JonBenét's killer may finally be identified, nearly 3 decades later. The case remains one of America's most infamous unsolved mysteries. JonBenét's story has inspired documentaries, books, and endless speculation. But behind the media circus is a little girl whose life was stolen too soon. A child remembered for her bright smile, her laughter, and her promise. So where does that leave us? The evidence points in 2 directions, toward an intruder and back toward the family. Yet no one has ever been convicted. And the truth remains buried beneath layers of doubt, confusion, and speculation. But perhaps this isn't the end. With modern DNA technology and renewed interest, there's still a chance this mystery could one day be solved. Until then, JonBenét Ramsey's case stands as both a tragedy and a haunting reminder of how some crimes linger in the shadows of justice. Backhand index pointing right. What do you believe? Was JonBenét the victim of a mysterious intruder? Or was the truth closer to home? Share your theories below. Your perspective might just shed light on the mystery.